Alright, what's up everybody? Blackacre here, your friendly neighborhood mass guitarist and vocalist. Today, I'm coming at you with something a little different. I'm also standing up. I don't know why I decided to do that, but here we are. I am going to show you guys how I get my guitar tones. Now, this is probably the most commented thing I've ever gotten on my channel, other than, how attractive people find me and what string gauge I use. But I'd say the majority of questions I get are about my tone, which I am very flattered by, because to me, as a guitar player, your tone is your DNA. That is your touch, your feel, your heart, your soul. So thank you, first of all, for asking that and being curious about it. I will talk a little bit about tone and my thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna transition over to my little studio here, and I'll show you guys a mix of a song I'm working on for an upcoming EP, where I show you exactly the guitar tones I use. And by the way, this is not clickbait. All of these plugins, the amp sims, the pedals, the IRs, the IR loader, everything is free. So I wanted to make it very easy for you guys to access this stuff. So that's not like clickbait or anything. Like I said, it's actually, everything's free. You might be saying, well, Blackacre, I still have to get an audio interface and a DAW. But these days, I mean, the Focusrite, I have a 2Y2, which is very affordable. You can get a Solo, which is even cheaper. Probably pick one up used for cheaper than that. I use GarageBand, which is free if you have a Mac product. Reaper's free if you don't. So the, cost of entry is very low to make your own music. So I kind of want to focus on original stuff as well. I will be doing, the normal Slipknot stuff that you guys have come to know me for, but I do want to, branch out and do more original stuff and help you guys also, come up with your creations as well, because I know how hard it is. Sometimes you have visions in mind of doing songs or releasing that EP that you want to, or a demo, and it's tough sometimes. And I know from experience, I do all this stuff by myself. It's hard sometimes to find other people. And yeah, anyway, I just want to help you guys out. So, and then at the very end, I'll just solo all the guitar tracks on the song and do a little playthrough so you guys can hear it in a mix, but also just the guitar, so you can hear exactly the final product. So first off, tone, I'll talk a little bit about it. In my opinion, a lot of it comes from your hands. The way you play, the way you attack the strings, your vibrato, all of that stuff. Now, I will say, obviously, the pickups you're using, the pedals, the amp, sure, that stuff matters, but my point is that I'm confident enough now that if I'm playing through, a Line 6 Spider or a Mesa Dual Rec, I'll be able to sound like me. The same thing goes for any guitarist that you can think of that you like, if they're playing on a Hello Kitty guitar or they're playing on a custom shop, Fender, it doesn't matter. It's still going to sound like them. Now, I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm just saying I've been playing for so long and have gone through every amp, every pedal you can think of to try to find my sound. I'm pretty confident in the way that I play and that I can get a good sound out of anything. Now, to kind of prove that, some people thought that my $65 Jackson Dinky has some of the best tones in any of my videos. I don't agree with that, but I'm flattered by that. But just to put in perspective, that guitar, like I said, I got it for $65 and had a set of EMG 81 and 60 put in there. And I also own that Jim Root Signature Jazzmaster, which most of my covers I do with now, all the Drop B stuff. And that guitar goes for what, over $2,000 now? So it just goes to show that expensive doesn't always mean good. Boutique doesn't always mean good. However, I'm kind of hypocritical for that, because my pedal board, I'll show my live stuff someday. I'm gearing up for a local band that's starting up. So I'll probably share that stuff with you guys. But most of my pedal board is boutique handmade stuff. But that doesn't always mean it's the best stuff. I will say that. Sometimes an old Boss DS1 or SD1 is going to sound just as good as, if not better than, you know, the handmade stuff by some guy in a shack in Louisiana. You know what I mean? So it's all personal preference. That's kind of my point I'm getting to, is that, you know, I can help you guys. I'll tell you exactly what I'm using in here. I'm not going to do any gatekeeping shit, but you're going to have to figure out what you like, what kind of tones you like, the way you like to dial in an amp. I'm not going to get into my settings because that's all up to you. What works for me might not work for you, but I think this is a good generalized overview of stuff and amps that you'll probably enjoy if you like tones like I do in the, you know, hard rock, metal, alt rock, alt metal type of thing. Now the song that I'm going to play is more of the pop punk emo variety, but to me it still works in that it's still my style coming through. So hopefully I'll be able to show you guys some cool stuff that you'll be able to download. I'll try to include all the links to all the pedals and amp sims and all that stuff in the description or in a pinned comment or whatever. So back to personal preference, I think you need to find out, do you like American voiced amps? Do you like British amps? Are you a Fender, a Mesa, a PV guy? That's how I am. Most of my playing life in bands has all been gigged out and recorded with the PV Classic 30. I love that thing. It's a very, very nice tube amp built in the US. I love PV. They're very affordable stuff. They sound great. They're underrated, in my opinion. 5150s. Every hardcore, metalcore person probably has played a 5150 of some variety. They're great. I love Mesa, Dual Rex, 525s, Lone Stars. I love Fender Blues Juniors, Deluxe Reverbs, whatever. I'm an American amp guy. I like the way they sound. They feel to me they have a more open sound. British stuff is great too. Do you like Marshalls? Do you like Vox? Do you like Orange? To me, that stuff's a little, I don't know how to describe it, a little too tinny, a little too focused. Like I said, I like the more open sound. But, you know, I also use some Marshall stuff, clones, in this song that I'll show you. So it all depends on what you like and what the song calls for and, you know, your fingers and all that stuff. So I think my point with all this rambling is that you need to find what works for you. Experiment, have fun with it. You know, tweak the knobs, use different guitars, use different pickups, find what works for you. But let's sit down at the mixing console, aka my Mac Mini, and check out the song. And I will tell you guys what I've been using. All right, so I'm back, and we are here with the tracks on one of my new songs from an upcoming EP I'm working on. This one is called Stereo. As of right now, it's being mixed and mastered. So at the time of filming this, it's not out yet, but hoping to release it, you know, within the near future. So let's take a look. Basically, I am using quad tracking on this. So I recorded the same guitar part 4 times. I also have 2 acoustic guitars in there and rhythm tracks and 2 lead acoustic guitars just to kind of add some more texture. Now we're just going to focus on the electrics right now. Obviously, that's what you guys want to know tone-wise. So what I'm using in this track you'll hear first, this is panned hard left, and I am using the, as an amp sim, I am using the Audiority L12X Solid, which is a clone of, I believe, a late 80s Marshall amp called the Lead 12. But it's a really cool amp, and to me, it's just this a nice kind of gnarly tone that sounds really cool when it's blended together with other amps. I'll play it by itself, just soloed. I'm also using a Dr. Drive. This is probably my favorite overdrive to use for all of my, you know, digitally recorded stuff. None of this stuff I enjoy as much as my, you know, live rig and real pedals and amps, but as far as free stuff goes, you can't really go wrong with this stuff. So I'm also using the Ignite NAD-IR as a, you know, dual cab processor. That's by STL Tones. And I will show you guys in the description or pinned comment, as I said, a bunch of different cabs you can get, or IR impulses. But my favorite probably would be the God's Cab by Wilkinson Audio. You can get tons of, literally hundreds and hundreds of Mesa cabs, Marshall cabs, whatever you feel like. So I have a blend of those. But yeah, so that's what I'm using on this track. So this is going to be hard left. So you can hear it's kind of gnarly sounding. Doesn't sound too great by itself. But you get the idea. So the next one up is going to be the hard right guitar, which is, I'm using a Goblin on this, which is a great little 5150 amp sim. It's based off of the EVH 5153 head, which is very popular right now in, you know, hardcore and metalcore stuff. Again, boosted with a Dr. Drive, and I'm running the same kind of NAD-IR cab processor. So this is hard right guitar. Again, very hairy and fizzy. Doesn't sound too great on its own, but we'll get there. Alright, you get the idea. Next up we have just a right pan guitar, and this is another L12X. So it's the same amp sim as that Marshall, just slightly different settings. And this is panned right. This is a little more focused. I wanted this one a little less gainy and to blend in a little better. And then one pan to the left, this is going to be the Amped Roots 5034 Fluff. So this is like the Fluff signature. I want to say this is probably a 5150 clone with EL34s. I'm assuming that's why it's named that. I don't know for sure, but this is what that sounds like. This one's a little woofy. I kind of wanted some woof in there. And that's just that amp. It's a pretty cool plugin. I think for free you only get that amp, but it also comes with a pedal board, so I do have the drive turned on and some reverb in there as well as a noise gate. So, you know, nothing crazy sound-wise, but the magic is when you put them together. So let's listen to them all together. You kind of get to hear the full picture now. Let's add in the bass. And the drums. Acoustic guitars. Some vocals. And there's the song. There's a little lead part at the end. All right. And that lead there, I'm just using a Mercurial Chorus WS1 to add some texture to it, as well as a Blue Echo, which is in the GarageBand pedal board, nothing crazy, as well as a noise gate to keep the noise down a little bit, and I cranked the volume a little bit just to, you know, have the lead stick out. So that's the track and some of the amps that I use. So now I'm just going to do a quick playthrough where you'll just hear it in a mix without the vocals, so you can kind of, you know, hear it a little better. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. I can try to do a Slipknot tone video. The only problem is I don't want to get copyrighted, and there wouldn't be any bass or anything else. But if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. I want to do more like songwriting stuff and just anything I can do to help, you know, other people out who might be confused about, you know, recording digitally. Believe me, I'm no expert, but I've just, you know, how to do it by trial and error over the years, and, you know, this is what I came up with. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy the song. Be sure to check out my original stuff, and stay safe, stay sick, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.